Hi, I'm Kylie Fremantle, and I'm going to just give an explanation today about the movement of Qi through meridians. I had this conversation the other day with my youngest daughter when I was trying to explain during a Qigong class exactly what it was that we were trying to achieve. And so just talking and discussing how Qi actually moves through meridians so that she could understand it, I actually thought, well, this actually might be quite useful for people that are quite interested but not necessarily have the education behind them in terms of Chinese medicine. And so when I was explaining it to her, I spoke about how Qi travels through areas of our body, and it's a bit like a road map. And so we have traffic moving through. Now, there's lots of things that can hold traffic up. And so when we're talking in terms of movement of Qi, we're looking at what sorts of things can stop Qi moving. And the importance of this is to actually be able to identify what stopped it so that we can rectify that and get the Qi moving properly again, get that flow happening. So what happens in terms of Qi is it should be moving through basically one direction through each meridian, which is linked. One meridian is then linked to the next one, which is linked to the next one, and it goes around. So there's different things that can happen. So sometimes we can have a car accident that stops the traffic. And so this is actually the traffic or the Qi, it's actually stopped itself. And so it can be trauma, for example, that will stop that movement from occurring in its natural pathway. And so it causes Qi, what we call Qi stagnation. This stagnation then causes more Qi behind it to build up and back up, and in turn creates problems further down that meridian or that roadway. Other things that can also do that, if we imagine that we've got, say, a bushfire occurring over a particular roadway, we can't have the Qi move through there, so again it becomes blocked. We can have problems of flooding over the road. And so what you need to do is look at, well, if this is what the cause is, the way to get the Qi moving, instead of just pushing it through, and it's not just about just forcing things to keep moving, because we can force some things through, but if the problem's still there, that problem is going to crop up again further down, back along that arterial or the meridian. And so what we need to do is look at the cause. So, for example, if it is Qi stagnation, we actually need to be able to clear that. So we use points when it comes to acupuncture, or even herbs as well, to actually to get that Qi moving more effectively. Other things that we can do is if there's a fire or there's heat causing problems where it causes stagnation, then what we need to do there is actually get that fire out of the way. Now, sometimes with fire, we can also have fire creating damage, drying things out. And so what we need to do is actually mend that dryness that's occurred or the damage that's occurred from the fire. And so sometimes we also then need to be doing things like improving the fluid in the area that the fire has consumed. So sometimes we talk about that in terms of nourishing the yin, or actually building blood as well. We must remember that blood is very much a fluid product, and so if we're drying things out, blood can often become quite dry. The other thing too, if there's say a flood over a roadway, what we do is actually get rid of the water. So in terms of Chinese medicine, this is when we start talking about damp. And dampness is basically, we get these terms from what's around in our environment, but dampness will again obstruct the movement of Qi. And so we actually need to dry out the dampness or shift it, move it into a different pathway. And so this is some of the ways in which we actually get Qi to move again, but also not only move it, stop it from going back to doing the things that it was doing before to create the problems.